we must have a dialogue with the North. But we tried a dialogue, and it was not effective. And it was not effective because the South is not organized. You understand? You see, if you deal with an empire deals with unorganized clans, how can you stand? Haiwezekani. Little clans, unorganized, and you are confronted with an empire, you will collapse. Now, the North is very well organized. The South, clans. Yeah. Your president has discovered what I discovered ages ago. And Mr. President, once you discover that, you see, and you take your chalk and your green board, and you begin to tell these people the facts of life, you have a chance. I must congratulate you, Mr. President. I listened to television yesterday when you were talking to your colleagues about the imbalances. And I do congratulate you, because we must know what is going on. We have to know what is going on. And if you have a head of state taking a piece of chalk and a blackboard, was it black or yellow?
It was gray.
A head of state taking a piece of chalk, explaining to his leaders the problems of the simple economics of the modern life, that country has a future. Because some of the so-called leaders of the South, they keep their people in ignorance in order that you can exploit them better. So I say we buy dear always from the North, and we sell cheap always to the North. That imbalance is inevitable. Lazima. You will have that imbalance. What kind of business is that? If I do business with Abu Mayanja there, he buys from me cotton, and I buy from him whatever it is, chicken or what? Sisal. But he determines the price of the sisal which he sells to me. So he fixes that price of the sisal which he sells to me. But he also fixes the price of the cotton which he buys from me. Well, unless he's a god or an angel, I'm in trouble. Because he will raise the price of the sisal he sells and keep down the price of the cotton he buys from me. Inevitable. He must do that. And this is what is happening on, not this imaginary thing. Abu has no sisal to sell to me, and I have no cotton to sell to him. But this is what is happening on the global basis. It is an unfair system, that system. So that system, the way it is organized by the North, run by the North, for the North. The way it is organized, that system always takes money from the South to the North. Transfers, they say it transfers resources, transfers wealth from the South to the North. I'll give you a small example. Tanzania, 2 years ago, we began pushing up the production of cotton again. So 1986, 87, no, 85, 87, 85, 86, we doubled our production of cotton. And we thought, because one of our problems is the foreign exchange, and cotton is a big foreign exchange earner for Tanzania. So we doubled the price, the cotton production. And we thought, And I tell you, I listen to the prices every morning. And one morning, the price was 68 American cents to the pound. 68 American cents to the pound of cotton. I thought, fine, if it can go on like that. The next morning, it is 34, exactly half. 34 American cents to the pound. But it is not so. We would get less money. Why? Because we have spent a lot more foreign exchange to double the production. In order to double that production, we have used more fertilizer from the north, more insecticides from the north. We have to move it on trucks. So we have more trucks to move it from the north. So we have spent more money in order to produce that amount of cotton. But we get exactly the same amount as we got last year on half the crop. Sasa kuna mtu ametuibia. There is somebody in the north who had robbed of my country. Half of its cotton production was stolen by somebody in the north. That is the system. And if that system is not changed, if God Almighty handed over that system to some angels to run it without changing it, itaendelea vile vile. So you have to change that system. The system is wrong. It is a system organized for robbery. And robbery by the rich robbing the poor. And it is totally wrong. And it is known it is wrong, because it's as simple as that. You can explain it to any intelligent person in the north, and he knows this system is wrong. A system that transfers wealth from poor people to the rich people automatically is wrong. It must be changed. We can't live with a system like that. So in the 70s, non-aligned countries and countries which were not non-aligned began to talk about establishing a new international economic order. A new international economic order. Change this unfair system of the world. Have some system which is fair. So that if peasants work, if a peasant has doubled his crop of cotton, well, let him get his crop of cotton. If he has doubled his coffee, let him get his coffee. So we began to talk about changing the international system as it is now and have a new international economic order. And we talked about calling for what we call global negotiations altogether, because it affects everybody, so altogether we should sit down in international negotiations and discuss how to change the system. I attended one of the meetings, a preliminary meeting. It was intended to be a preliminary meeting to change, to agree to talks, global talks, to change the international system. I did attend one of the preliminary meeting. A meeting was called in a place in Mexico called Cancun in Mexico at the beginning of 1981. A few of us from the south were there, and of course our northern friends were there. And we discussed these problems. And my friend Reagan from the United States, I think he looked at us and thought all of us were being very foolish, thinking that there was anything wrong to be reformed.